Ezekiel Chapter 42. Then he led me out into the outer court, in the direction of the north. He brought me to the chamber that faced the separate area and was situated in front of the building to the north. The north door measured 100 cubits in length and 50 cubits in width. In the inner court, there were galleries opposite one another in 3 stories, spanning 20 cubits across from the inner court's 20 cubits, and facing the pavement of the outer court. Before the chambers, there was a walkway 10 cubits wide, and each chamber had a 1-cubit wide door opening to the north. The upper chambers were narrower than the lower and middle ones, as the galleries were higher than the chambers. Unlike the pillars in the courts, these upper chambers did not have pillars, making the building narrower than the lower and middle levels from the ground up. The outer wall facing the chambers and the outer court in front of the chambers had a length of 50 cubits. The chambers in the outer court were 50 cubits long, and in front of the temple, there was an area measuring 100 cubits. The entry to these chambers was on the east side, accessible from the outer court. The chambers were built into the thickness of the wall facing the east, opposite the separate area and the main building. The walkway in front of them resembled the appearance of the chambers to the north, both in length and width. Their entrances, designs, and doors were similar. Facing the chambers on the south side was a door at the head of the walkway, directly opposite the wall facing east, leading into the chambers. Then he said to me, "The north chambers and the south chambers facing the separate area are holy chambers where the priests who approach the Lord shall eat the most holy offerings. There they shall place the most holy offerings, the grain offerings, the sin offerings, and the trespass offerings, for the place is holy. When the priests enter these chambers, they shall not go out into the outer court, but shall lay aside the garments in which they minister, for these garments are holy. They shall put on other garments before approaching the items for the people." After measuring the inner temple, he led me toward the gate that faced east and measured it all around. He measured the east side with a measuring reed, 500 reeds in total, with the measuring reed encircling it. He measured the north side, also 500 reeds, with the measuring reed. He measured the south side, 500 reeds, using the measuring reed. Then he turned to the west side and measured it, 500 reeds, with the measuring reed. He measured the wall surrounding it on all 4 sides, 500 reeds in length and 500 reeds in width, creating a separation between the sanctuary and the common area.